now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and it's new release Saturday, so it's time to take a look at another film currently in motion picture theaters. And today's title is the Jordan Peele sci-fi thriller Nope, starring Daniel Kaluuya, Keke Palmer, Stephen Yeun, Brandon Perea, Michael Wincott, and Keith David. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. And like I said during the introduction, it's new release Saturday, which means it's time for me to talk about another movie currently in theaters that you can still get out there and see. And today it's the Jordan Peele sci-fi alien thriller, Nope. And our movie opens in the year 1998 on the soundstage for the sitcom Gordy's Home, as the titular chimpanzee animal actor attacks and maims three of its co-stars after being startled by the pop of a helium balloon. Now, the show's youngest star, Ricky Jupe Park, hides under a table and is unharmed, although he is severely traumatized by the experience. The chimp finds Jupe and extends its hand for a fist bump just before being shot dead by the authorities. Back in the present day, ranch owner Otis Haywood Sr. trains and handles horses for film and television productions. When he is killed by a nickel through the eye that falls inexplicably from the sky, his children, Otis Haywood Jr., or OJ, and Emerald M. Haywood, inherit the ranch. Now, OJ tries to keep the business afloat and maintain his father's legacy despite a very reserved attitude, while M seeks fame and fortune in Hollywood. Now, the Haywoods' claim to fame is that the unnamed jockey in Muybridge's first assembly of photographs used to create a motion picture was their ancestor. 6 months later, while filming a commercial with prominent cinematographer Antlers Holst, one of the horses reacts violently when the crew startles it. Now, as a result, the Haywoods are fired from the project, and the ranch's financial woes force OJ to sell horses to a now grown up Jupe, who has moved nearby and set up Jupiter's Claim, a small Western theme park where he exploits his story of the Gordy's Home massacre for profit. OJ periodically sells horses to Jupe, but this time, Jupe offers to buy the ranch off of the Haywoods. That night, M encourages OJ to sell the ranch and recalls resenting her father's broken promise to let her train her own horse. The Haywoods begin to notice that their home electricity is fluctuating and their horses are vanishing and violently reacting to an unknown presence. They then discover a UFO shaped like a flying saucer that has been devouring their horses and then spitting out inorganic matter, which is what caused their father's death. The siblings then decide to document evidence of the UFO's existence, believing that selling a picture, the Oprah shot, if you will, would make them rich and famous, thereby saving the ranch. They recruit a Fry's electronics store employee and UFO enthusiast named Angel to help them set up surveillance cameras amongst their property. However, electrical interference from the UFO and a praying mantis found on one of the cameras prevent them from getting clear footage. But Angel notices that a nearby cloud never moves, and they deduce that the UFO is hiding within the cloud. Jupe announces a brand new live show in Jupiter's Claim, where he plans to lure out the UFO in front of a paying audience. It is then revealed that Jupe has been feeding the Haywoods horses that he's been buying off of OJ to the UFO for months. The UFO arrives, but devours Jupe, his family, the attending employees, and the audience. OJ then deduces that the UFO is not a spaceship, but a predatory, territorial creature that eats anything that looks directly at it. By utilizing similar methods to those that he uses to break and train horses, OJ believes that they can influence the creature's behavior in order to capture the footage they want of it without being killed. After a second attempt at recording footage of the creature, which has now been dubbed Jean Jacket by the Haywoods, they decide to try and enlist Antlers for assistance. And he initially refuses the request, but he reconsiders after the news spreads about the missing Jupiter's Claim spectators and employees. In order to circumvent Jean Jacket's effects on electronics, Antlers brings a hand cranked film camera in order to capture the footage. The group works out a plan to bait out Jean Jacket as they watch a field of scattered tube man props for electrical malfunctions in order to deduce its location in the sky. As their plan starts, a TMZ reporter trespasses onto the field and is thrown from his electric motorcycle when it shuts down near Jean Jacket. OJ rushes over on horseback, and the reporter begs him to film Jean Jacket for him as it approaches, but he is devoured as OJ flees. Angel and Antlers capture footage of Jean Jacket from a nearby hillside, but Antlers unexpectedly jumps from cover and lets himself get eaten along with his camera, forcing the remaining three to flee as their plan unravels. Angel survives a feeding attempt from Jean Jacket when he is accidentally tethered by a tangle of tarp and barbed wire, causing the creature to unfurl from its saucer shape into a more jellyfish like biblical angel form. OJ then lures Jean Jacket away from M while she uses the motorcycle to rush to Jupiter's Claim. Once there, M untethers the theme park's large helium balloon mascot. Jean Jacket approaches the airborne balloon while M uses an attraction's analog camera to photograph it. Jean Jacket attempts to feed on the balloon, but it explodes, seemingly killing the creature. With the picture as proof of the creature's existence and reporters beginning to assemble at the theme park entrance, OJ arrives on the other side with his horse, having survived his encounter with Jean Jacket as our movie comes to its close. I've never been a big fan of Key and Peele, and I've never seen any of Jordan Peele's other horror movies that he's done. So when this was first announced, I was kind of like, about it. You know what I mean? But as I would continue to go to the movie theaters and I'd continue to see more and more trailers for this, eventually I got very interested. I got interested about the story and where this was going. And I was like, all right, you know what? We'll pencil this in for new release Saturday. We'll see what's up with this. And I enjoyed it. It definitely wasn't what I expected because knowing Jordan Peele's films, I expected this to be a straight up horror. But this was more of a sci-fi thriller type. You know, you didn't have your typical slasher killer thing going around and just gutting a bunch of people. Like it wasn't that type of movie. This was more of a psychological science fiction like alien movie. So it definitely wasn't what I expected going in. But still, I enjoyed the story behind it. I enjoyed the fact that here's this kid who's traumatized by this experience as a child, and this family who has a legacy in Hollywood. And they come together by happenstance because they just happen to be in a close proximity of each other Jupe owning the theme park and the Haywoods owning the ranch, which is only a few miles apart. Like they're neighbors, basically. And then you start to find out more and more about this alien, and the other characters get involved, Angel and Antlers and everything. And I just feel like Jordan Peele built a very well layered story here with everything that he presented in this film. I feel like the pacing was perfect. There wasn't anywhere where it was really slow. I mean, it was slower than most horror movies, don't get me wrong, but that's because it was more of a suspense thriller than it was a horror. So, keeping that in mind, I don't feel like it moved at too slow of a pace. I feel like everything flowed perfectly the way it was supposed to. My only real complaint is Daniel Kaluuya. Like, I even mentioned in my synopsis about how he's a reserved character. Like, he pretty much just ho-hums his way through the entire movie. And obviously that's the way his character is supposed to be, because it even says in the synopsis how he's reserved. But as things start building and escalating, you see OJ just kind of maintain this sense of whatever. Well, M goes from whatever to slowly building up like crap, crap, crap. And all the other characters have the same kind of escalation in their character, and OJ just kind of seems flat the whole time. That's really the only issue I have with it. I feel like there needed to be, even if it wasn't at the same pace, there needed to be some escalation in OJ's character about what is happening to us, instead of just this nonchalant whatever type attitude. With that in mind, when it comes to rating this movie, I'm going to give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. I did enjoy it. Like I said, it was a great movie. It wasn't what I expected, but it didn't disappoint. And I do recommend that if you're fans of the Jordan Peele movies, if you're fans of science fiction and aliens and that type of stuff, you check it out. Go give the movie theaters that are in your area your money while it's still in theaters. It's the only way we're going to keep the theaters open, is if we keep going to see movies. That's why I try to do these new release Saturdays. Granted, every movie that I discuss isn't in theaters, and it may be a streaming original or something. But that's why I do these, is try to keep our movie theaters in business, because it's a dying art form. So 3.5 out of 5 stars for me. What do you guys think? Those of you that are out there and have seen Nope, let me know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down here. Let's engage in that conversation. Let's have that discussion. Talk to me about your thoughts. Is there anything I missed that I should have picked up on? If so, I'll have to go back and rewatch it when it hits streaming. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow, right here to the Casa D18 Studios channel, when it's time once again to step into the war zone. That's right, it's time for another edition of the Weekly Acquisition Report, the show where I display some of the newest additions to my ever-growing movie library. You're not going to want to miss out on that right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, right here on an all-new episode of The War Zone. Again, I'll be showing off some of the newest additions to my ever-growing movie library. You're going to want to tune in and see what I've picked up here recently. To all my loyal fans and followers out there, my viewers, thank you for tuning in and joining me here today. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure the notification bell is turned on. Share my video with your family, friends, loved ones, other movie lovers you know, cinephiles, Jordan Peele fans, Daniel Kaluuya fans, Kiki Palmer fans, Keith David fans, anybody who you think would enjoy this film, people who like sci-fi alien thrillers. Help get my show out there, help it get boosted in the YouTube algorithms so I can eventually get monetized, start making some money on this endeavor. Thanks again to everybody who joined me and tuned in today, and I will see you guys next time.